Do you want your bones to stay strong and healthy and able to support you throughout your entire life? Stay right where you are. Today, we are talking about bone strengthening foods. Osteoporosis and osteopenia are very scary, especially for women. Worldwide, 1 in 3 women over age 50 will experience an osteoporotic fracture, as well as 1 in 5 men over 50. Overall, 61% of osteoporotic fractures occur in women. But have no fear. We got you covered with awesome and delicious bone-strengthening foods and activities right here on The Healthy View. I'm Andrea Beeman, and I'm here with my fabulous health coaching co-hosts, Lisa Lutan and Michelle Fenninghaus. And together, we've helped countless people around the world get happy and healthy following our sage advice. So in regards to bone health, what do you got for us, Lisa? What are your favorite foods for the bones?
Well, I just want to say I'm in my mid-50s, and all of a sudden I'm hearing this from friends and family. They're going through their checkups, and their doctors are saying, "Whoa, what happened? You know, your bones are just not like they were a year ago or a few years ago." And people are really panicking because there's a lot of confusion. You know, doctors are saying eat dairy, 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 dairy. And there's been so much controversy around dairy, you know, in the last 10 years. So I went and started researching this again because I typically don't think of dairy as a healthy food. And I had heard many years that dairy was one of the causes of bone fracture rates in this country. It has been proven that that's not the case, that dairy is not hurting our bones. And that was a big shocker to me, but we can eat dairy. But remember, dairy is still not considered a health food, but it will not hurt your bones, and it might actually help in some quantities. Now, the things that I like to recommend for people to eat are, before you have this issue, to keep your bones strong, are foods that have natural forms of calcium, like sesame seeds. I'm a really big fan of tahini, and I put sesame seeds in just about everything. Sardines, you know, with all those little bones.
I love sardines.
Do you love sardines?
I love them. And
Really?
anchovies.
Interesting. People tend to like both, you know, one or the other. I can't say that I'm a big fan, but I do know people that love them, and so I probably should try them again. You know, some dairy if it's tolerated. Of course, just like everything else, they're finding lots of connections between gut health and bone health, and that we have to take care of our gut. And of course, exercise is a really, really big thing. And I've always been a fan of weights, but I'm trying to add more running or jogging and jumping rope and anything that's, you know, really weight bearing to protect my bones. So that's my thought.
You know, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, Lisa. I think dairy is not necessarily unhealthy. I think it depends on the person, and it can be a really great source of protein and fat. It can help build someone up if they need to gain weight. I mean, there's a time and a place for it, but I wouldn't rely on it either and say, oh, I'm just going to eat like all this cheese every day and then my bones are going to be great. You know, the cheese and cracker plate, that's not the bone strengthening diet that we want to promote. So
no, and I said in moderation, it's fine. And what I was trying to say was that it was not hurting us, which is what I had always learned, that it was actually a detrimental food and that it can be a positive food, and it is high in calcium. So just to clarify.
But what I really want to talk about is what we should be eating, because you're right. It's the dark leafy greens, it's the fish with the small bones like sardines. But I want to talk about what we should not eat if we want strong bones, because this is what I feel like nobody ever mentions. You on the internet and you get like, what should I eat? And they tell you like this long list of things that you should eat, but no one's telling you that when you stop at Starbucks every morning, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, because caffeine actually leaches calcium from your bones. That's right, it takes it and gets rid of it. So, you know, you're taking your Fosamax and you're drinking your milk, but then your coffee's kind of undoing anything that you're trying to do for your bones. So it's the same thing with sugar. Again, I'm going to point to Starbucks, but obviously sugar comes into our diet lots of different ways. It leaches the calcium out of your bones. So it is no surprise to me that we are a culture that is addicted to both coffee and sugar. We've got that Starbucks on every corner. Yeah, we might have a problem with osteoporosis. I think that sounds about right. The other thing I want to mention, like you said, is about exercise. Most women are not doing any kind of weight-bearing exercise. That's incredibly important for bone health. I think like our SUV is carrying all the heavy stuff. You know, we're not walking up the stairs with groceries, unless you're Andrea. But most of us are putting the groceries in the back of the SUV. That's doing the lifting for us. If we go to the gym, we hit the elliptical. Again, no weight-bearing exercise happening there. So I'm a huge fan of weight training for so many reasons. And I was very scared of it in the beginning. You know, you go into the gym and you're like, where's the little 2-pound weights? Where's the little 3-pound weights? That's all I can lift because I'm a little lady. I mean, look at me. I mean, these are my arms. I'm a small person.
Little chicken fingers.
Yes, I have little chicken finger arms. And when I met you, Andrea, for the first time, you looked at me, you go, you're a little thing. But when I go to the gym, I'm lifting the 15-pound, the 20-pound, the 25-pound hand weights. And you'd be surprised. You're so much stronger than you think. So just a reminder to go for it. And don't be afraid of walking to the other side of the gym and picking up the slightly bigger weights.
Yeah, baby. Pump you up, sister.
Yeah.
Michelle will now be forever known as Michelle Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, let's see if I can get like my little baby muscle.
I agree with both of you ladies. We need a nice variety of bone-building foods, taking out the crap, as well as weight-bearing exercises to support our beautiful bones, because they need to carry us through our entire lifetime, right? And they are breaking down all over the place. So the first thing to take note is that more women struggle with bone loss than men. So part of this is due to the dieting mentality that we've been bombarded with over the past 50 to 60 years. It started with the no-fat, low-fat craze in the 70s. Newsflash, everybody, we need fat for bone health. Bone-building vitamins A, D, and K are all fat soluble. So a diet too low in fat inhibits the absorption of these essentials for bone health. Eat fat, girls. Eat it.
I'm eating it.
Yes, eat it. Another horrible thing that was specifically targeted to women was to take large doses of calcium supplements. This was a huge mistake. The bones are more than just calcium. So women were advised by their doctors to take calcium for bone health. But guess what? Calcium supplementation is linked with calcification of the soft tissue and increased risk in heart attack, kidney stones, and breast cancer. So I am not a fan of calcium supplements. The bones are more than just calcium, and we need to be really aware of that. There are much better ways to get the nutrients that you need to build the bones without causing a life-threatening imbalance in your body. For example, one of my favorite bone-building foods is an herb called nettles, also known as stinging nettles. And if you take that herb, which is loaded with calcium and silica and a bunch of other great things, and you mix it with olive oil and garlic and pine nuts and a little bit of Parmesan cheese, Lisa, right, for the cake, right? You put it in there and you make a delicious pesto, so that you're getting your calcium, your silica, the fats that you need, your vitamin K, a lot of the other nutrients needed to support your bones, and it's delicious, and you eat it. So I've had clients with osteoporosis, right? They've been beyond osteopenia. They're into osteoporosis. They've reversed their conditions. It takes 1 to 2 years. It's not going to happen overnight, right? Because it took time to get the calcium and all the other nutrients out of the bones. And to weaken the bones, it's going to take time to build them again. But it can be done. Michelle had mentioned Fosamax. Lord have mercy, girls. Do not put that medication in your body. It actually, you guys do the studies on it. I'm not gonna scare you.
Yeah, Google it.
Yeah.
Google Fosamax, and what it actually does to the bones, it makes them more brittle, right? It builds up. You get all your dead bones that don't get, the bone cells don't get excreted from the body. They just build up. So now you have thicker bones, but they're more brittle. Don't put that stuff in your body. Yeah, I said it. So,
I want the recipe for that pesto. That sounds amazing.
Oh, great. I'll give it to you.
All right.
Yeah, I got a question for you. I feel like at some point in the past, I've heard you talk about how actually losing bone density as you get older is normal. Is that right?
Yeah. So like when from the time that you're in your teens to your mid 30s, you're building bone, right? It's a natural process. You're building your structure. But as you age, you're no longer building structure. You're maintaining structure, right? So you're not going to be in a building phase for your entire life. So there's going to be a time when the osteoblasts stop being produced as much, and your osteoclasts, start to take over. You're going to have more. It's like a natural cycle, a natural swing. So you can't build your entire life. So like even my clients that have osteoporosis, I'm telling them they're not going to build a bigger structure. They're going to take their structure and they're going to put the bone building stuff within the structure that they already have. So they're not going to get bigger. They're just going to refill their bones, so to speak. So yeah, you're not going to be building your entire life. There's going to be a time where that slows down and it stops. Otherwise, we'd be giants.
Right.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with muscles. When you're in your 30s and you're building that muscle is so good, because by the time you get to your 50s, just maintaining that muscle mass is really hard. And so I can lift heavier and heavier weights just to maintain. So while you're young, really go for it and really put on, a lot of muscle there. Keep up that good work, Michelle.
Yeah.
Good. It'll serve you. Serve you well. Wow. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We want you to stay in touch. You can find us on iTunes, and if you're there, you can leave a 5-star review. We'd really be happy to see that. You can find us on YouTube and a whole host of other places. And if you'd like to stay up to date, go to healthyviewshow.com and you can get our mailing list so we tell you what's up and coming on our future shows. Have a great day, and we will be back next week. Take care.
Bye, everybody.